I thought that taking Zepbound or Wegovy was going to be easy, but it's anything but easy. When I think about it, there's about 10 things I wish I had known would have made my journey much easier. So if you're thinking about starting or you just started, here are those 10 things I wish I knew before I took my first dose. All right, let's start with one that everybody dances around, the side effects. Everyone celebrates all the weight that you're gonna lose. People on TV that you hadn't seen in a while, and you're like, dang, they must be on GLP-1s. You're probably right, but nobody wants to talk about the side effects, and they're real. Some of these side effects are quite weird. I don't know about you, but I spent most of my life prior to GLP-1s pretty steadily knowing that I'm gonna have to do number 2 once a day. But on GLP-1s, that could be multiple times a day. Yeah, have one of those days just recently. On the opposite side of that, you just get completely stuck or you just feel off. There's one thing that makes everything worse if you ignore it. Hydration is not optional. You're not going to feel as thirsty as you should when you're taking GLP-1s. As your appetite reduces, so goes your thirst. You're not going to get the same signals you used to get that, hey, it's time to drink something. And by the time you're thirsty, it's too late. At that point, you're going to get a headache, you might get the shakes, you might get some cramping, and you're just going to feel like crap. So, you need a hydration plan. You got to have your water with you at all times. Now, you get your hydration fixed, and it's time to eat. But what you eat matters way more than you think. If you take one tip from this video, make it this tip. Prioritize protein. Protein is everything. When you're losing weight, your body doesn't really say, oh, this person's reduced their calories. Let's only burn fat. No, it doesn't work that way. You're gonna lose muscle along the way, and the only way you can minimize how much muscle you're losing is by exercise, for sure. You definitely wanna be exercising. And then also eating more protein than you normally would. I don't know about you, but I like protein. Protein is king when you're on GLP-1s. But on the flip side, there's one type of food that will humble you real quick. Fatty foods will wreck you. Fatty foods hit really different on GLP-1s. You might eat something greasy and think you'll be fine. Like, let's say your wife has a hankering for some Penn Station, brings home one of those cheesesteaks and all them French fries they throw in the bag. And you're like, ooh, that smells good. I'm gonna get me a couple fries. Slam those bad boys down. I guarantee in 10 to 20 minutes, you are gonna regret eating those French fries. But what's more, you're gonna regret it for like hours. It could be an hour or two before you feel normal again. And that reminds me, you gotta have a first aid kit for GLP-1s so you can take something. When you make mistakes like that, there's things you can take to help you. What's in my GLP-1 First Aid Kit? Number 1, Imodium. You're gonna have diarrhea, you better have some Imodium. Number 2, Senna, stool softener. You're gonna get constipated, so you better have some stool softener to get things moving again. And 3, Gas X. You're gonna get gas and bloating. I've had some terrible gas when I was taking Wegovy. I don't even know how much Gas X can help, but I did learn that number 4 is real important, which is Pepsid AC. Because when you eat too much, and you're miserable, and you can't function because your stomach is hurting so bad, taking some Pepsid AC can really calm things down. Combining Pepsid AC with Gas X sometimes was necessary to deal with the bloating, but that's what's in my GLP-1 First Aid Kit. So on GLP-1s, you'll learn really fast what your body doesn't want anymore. It's gonna tell you when you eat something that's bad for you, it's going to tell you pretty quick. And take it from me, you're gonna go through that a few times before you realize it just ain't worth it. But even if you eat perfectly, there's still something else that can hit you really hard. Now this one surprised me. I didn't realize how tired I was gonna get. There were days after I took a dose where I felt like I had COVID all over again. Miserable, sluggish, tired, no energy. And you know what? I didn't expect it. So there were a few times I actually thought, man, am I getting the flu? Am I getting a cold or something? Because I feel like I'm sick. Is there something wrong with me? Nope. It's just how your body's adjusting to the medication, and it's normal. So drink plenty of water. Don't schedule any meetings, outdoor activities where you got to be physically engaged, like cutting the grass, pulling weeds, planting trees. Especially when you're first taking the medication, don't schedule a bunch of busy time. I like to take my dose on Saturday nights. That way, if I get nauseous, at least I'm getting nauseous while I'm asleep. And then on Sunday, after I got home from church, I was chilling. Didn't necessarily have to worry about anything because Sundays were a chill day. I recommend that you schedule your dose and schedule your chill time because you're going to need it. Speaking of adjustment, this next one is really a reality check. Medication doesn't fix your habits. Look, GLP-1s aren't magic. They fix your appetite, but you still got to have healthy habits. At the end of the day, you've got to give yourself time to develop consistent, healthy habits. And remember this too, your bad habits, they're not going to just disappear overnight. They're still going to be there because you always eat something before you go to bed, for example. Perhaps you always have a snack before you go to bed. You're going to naturally go downstairs at 10 o'clock at night and think, oh man, I got to get a snack. And you're going to stand there. And your body's going to be like, we don't need a snack, bro. Your body's going to be like, girl, you don't need to go on that bag of chips. But if you do need something at night, guess what? Eat some fruit. You want something crunchy? Have some carrots. You can eat healthier things. And when you do, you're going to find that you actually enjoy healthy food. And you're going to feel good when you eat it. If you're like me, you ate out of boredom. You ate when you were scared. You ate when you were lonely. You ate when you were having a bad day. It's going to take time for those things to go away. Give yourself time to adjust. You got to stop doing the bad things and start doing the good things consistently. And while you're figuring all that out, there's something else that people don't talk about. It's more expensive than you think. Yeah. Zepbound, Wegovy, the GLP-1s, they're expensive. But you know what's more expensive? Replacing all your clothes. You might need to have a budget. Set aside some money. You might need to have an extra 2 pair of pants as you step down in sizes. So make sure you have money for that. Nobody really talks about the cost of that. They talk a lot about the cost of the drugs, but I tell you what, when you got to buy new clothes, it's expensive. I went from a size 44 to a size 34. So be prepared for the budgeting of replacing your clothes. Here's some other things to think about that you might need to buy. You might need to buy supplements because your nutrition, you need to keep your vitamins up, multivitamins. You might have trouble sleeping at night, so you might need to do some sleep aids. You definitely need to have that GLP-1 First Aid Kit I told you about. But you also might need to buy high protein foods, and high protein foods sometimes can cost a lot, right? So we're talking about protein powders and things like that. So definitely want to set aside some money for that, because like I said earlier, protein is king. Now that leads me to something that I highly recommend. You need a plan. Don't just wing it. You need to have a plan for losing weight. You need guidance. You need help. That's one thing. I have another video where I talk about getting help and how important getting help is. Don't just try to do this alone. Understanding the nutrition and side effects and adjusting your habits and all those things, you need somebody on your team who can help coach you through those things. And there's lots of resources out there you can go to get that kind of help. I will say this, the GLP-1s helped me in my weight loss journey, but I have to say, I have to give at least 2/3, I would say, wait, let me see. 1/3 of it was GLP-1s, 1/3 of it was the help that I got from the team. I had a doctor and a nutritionist helping me. And 1/3 of it was my effort, right? The things that I did consistently. So make sure you get some help. It's a lot easier when you're not figuring it out on your own. Because if you don't have the right expectations, this next part can mess with you. Weight loss is not linear. that scale ain't gonna change every week. You're gonna get real motivated, losing 1 or 2 pounds every week, and then at some point it's just gonna stop. And it's not because you've done anything wrong, it's just weight loss is not linear. Your body is a machine, but it's a non-linear machine. And just as much as you don't drink the same amount of water every day, you're not gonna lose the same amount of weight every day. So be patient. Don't get on the scale every day. It might be tempting to do so, but it's kind of wasteful. I like to think getting on the scale once a week is a good moderate amount. And the most important thing that's gonna tell you how you're doing, honestly, is how you feel, how you sleep, and how your clothes fit on you. There were weeks where the scale didn't change at all. There were weeks where the scale changed a little. And there were weeks with the scale, I lost like 5 pounds in 1 week. That was a lot. That kind of freaked me out, come to think of it. It's kind of scary. I was thinking, man, something wrong with me? But the bottom line is this. If the scale doesn't change, it doesn't mean that your GLP-1s have stopped working. You got to give your body time to adjust. Remember, this is a long game. It took you a long time to gain that weight, and it's going to take some time to lose it. So give yourself grace and the time to lose the weight, and don't get on the scale all the time, because all that does is create mental pressure for yourself that just really isn't warranted, because weight loss is not linear. And finally, this one sounds small, but it matters more than you think. The people around you can make it easy for you, or they can make it harder. Your friends, your family, they all mean well, but I tell you what, when somebody's shoving cupcakes at you when you're trying to lose weight, that just ain't no fun. I went through some guilt. My mom would buy stuff for me, and when I said, oh, thanks, Mom, but I'm trying to lose weight, I can't really eat the cake that you brought, but I appreciate it, she at first would get offended and say, oh, you're not gonna eat the cake that I got you? Be prepared for that. Be prepared for the fact that some people actually want you to stay overweight. Don't let them manipulate you. You gotta be strong. Peer pressure is real. Family pressure is real. If your spouse has gotten used to you being big and you start shrinking, they are gonna need time to adjust too, because if you look completely different, even if it's for the better, believe it or not, they can make it real hard and difficult for you. So make sure you have a plan for that. Give your spouse time. You're gonna need to be patient with them. It could be your mom, it could be your kids, it could be your best friend, because they can't do the things they used to do with you because you're trying to lose weight and you just can't roll like that anymore. So here's the bottom line. You need to get them on board, or at least set boundaries. That really helps a lot. At the end of the day, GLP-1s like Zepbound and Wegovy are game changers. If I knew these 10 things going in to this, I would have had a much smoother time. So if you're on this journey too, I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up in the comments and let me know, what's your GLP-1 First Aid Kit look like? Do you have any food meal prep hacks that you want to share with the community, or what are some of the side effects and how you manage them? Did you ever have constipation and diarrhea in the same day? If you found this video helped you out, why don't you check out one of these other videos? This one is something I produced where I highlight my entire journey of losing weight. And in this video, I talk more about things I wish I knew before starting on GLP-1s. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.